Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. It's your girl Angel, and so this is our first episode in the girls corner for this month, and I have someone who's really grown on me. I feel like I'm starting to see her more and more. In the beginning she was against me, but now she's starting to grow on me. I have one of my friends, Bukky. Hey girl. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
How are you? In today's topic, we're going to talk about friendship breakups. So me and Bukky always have these conversations. Well, not always, we talk about other stuff too. But this is out of all my friends, me and her always talk about it because we've had different incidents, and we've had, you've had incidents that have actually gone really well, like friendship breakups that have gone well. And then I've had not so well. But we're just gonna talk about how it's okay, and some friendship breakups are actually good for you. Now, before we get into it, I have some questions for you.
Okay.
Are you a winter or summer person?
Summer.
You a summer person? The people can't hear you. She's like, summer.
Summer. I'm a summer person.
Bookie's a little bit shy
Winter,
with the camera. Why summer though? You like dressing for summer?
Yeah, it's easier to dress for me. I feel like winter, you have to layer up, and it takes a lot more creativity.
Oh, for
to come
winter.
up with what to wear, yeah. And summer, I don't like the hot sun.
But you always look cute in winter though, because I met you during the winter, and I'll be like, yeah, you've been looking cute. But you're heels, your Bukky dressed like she's on Wall Street. She'll be wearing her heels with a nice dress, a coat, and a scarf, and her umbrella. That's how me and IJ are running. But my next question is, are you reading a book currently? And what book is it?
I checked out a book yesterday from this library that I found 4 minutes drive from my house.
Uh-huh.
I think it's called Wednesday Sisters.
Wednesday Sisters. So
something like that.
You haven't read it yet?
Not yet, but it looks interesting. So.
Okay. Now that I'm done with those questions, let's get into the juicy topic. So, do you think friendship breakups are good for you?
Yes and no.
Why?
Yes, because it allows you to let go of a situation or a person that's not really adding much value to your life, or it's just there, taking up space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good for that reason, or those reasons.
So I know you're not living in the same state that you moved to. So you are originally from Nigeria, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you moved to America. How was that transition? How was that making friends in a different country? Did you go through friendship breakups because of moving, or did you stay in contact with the friends you had back in Nigeria?
Actually, I'm not in contact with any because I moved when I was 10.
Oh, okay. I see.
I had just graduated from primary 6. So how many friends would you have when you're 10 that you would, I guess, want to keep up with? So no, eventually I found some on Facebook, but the connection wasn't that intense or tight because it's been so many years and they've moved on and I've moved on.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And then you moved states when you came here, because when I met you, you had just moved.
Yeah.
How has that transition been? Because the difference between both of us is that you actually went to high school here, and you had education here, and so you had a chance of making friends here. And so when you move states, do you still feel as connected to those friends, or did you have to be okay, new state, new friends, cut tie?
Well, first, my friendship circle is very small. I'm not used to having a lot of friends. I feel like I have more associates or acquaintances and stuff. But I met someone in grad school in Minnesota, and we're still in touch. And the other one I met in college, she's in Arizona now. She's married with a daughter 2 months old. So I still keep in touch. But when I moved here, I didn't have any friends. So I had to figure out a way to make friends. So I joined Bumble. And then I did both the
Like a Bumble guy.
dating and the Bumble BFF side. So I met up with a few ladies on Bumble.
What happened? Wait.
So
What happened there? So in case you guys don't know, Bumble is this app where you go on for dating, and there's a side to it where you can make friends. And you're actually the single person I know that has tried it. I was like, this is weird. Well, I'm not judging it, but I was like, when I got here, I struggled to make friends for at least like a year or so. And I was like, this other girl who was an Aupair also told me about that because she was going to hang out with this other girl she met, on Bumble thing. And I remember being like, I want friends, but I don't really want friends that way because South Africans, we don't just trust. I was like, this girl gonna come with some weird stuff.
You never know.
Whenever people say why you want to be my friend, I'm always like, why you want to be my friend, And so I applaud you for actually going through with it and being her friend. So are you guys still friends now?
So I met a few ladies. It's kind of like dating. You have to weed out the good and bad.
Oh, wow.
So I met some. We, stayed in touch, met up every once in a while. One though, we clicked right away, and I think it was maybe too fast of a connection.
Okay.
So that's the one that did not last for very long. That we had a friendship breakup. I'm still in touch with one person, but.
When you say we had a friendship breakup, because I have had friendships that I just. Well, it's bad to say, but they were just toxic, and I'm the type of person where I always, even though it takes a lot for me to be like I'm done, but there were friendships I know for sure that I should have ended earlier, specifically because I felt they were toxic, and they were just I try to be this good Christian person, give grace, to a point where I'm tired, and it's okay, you need wisdom now. You constantly getting in trouble when you're with this person, you turn into a monster when you're with this person, so you need to, cut ties with that person. So with that friendship, I just let it fade out. I don't believe in ghosting. Do you believe in ghosting?
No, but fading out is the same as ghosting.
I would respond to the text message, whatever. I just intentionally was like, okay, I'm just not gonna hang out with this person. I'm gonna support them from far, but I'm just not gonna do day-to-day stuff like how I used to.
So you wouldn't reach out first, right?
No.
Okay, so you let them.
So if you text me hey, we're yeah, or if you have an emergency, I'll definitely still be there for you. I'm just not gonna be there as I was, how me and you would go for brunch or go for walks. I'll never be hey so and so, I haven't seen you in a while, let's go. I wouldn't do that. I would let it fade out. But then there was this one friendship in particular where I said that was my first ever breakup with a friend, and I was blindsided, number one. Number two, I completely forgot about it because I was until recently I was reminded of it. And I was oh my gosh, I went through a friendship breakup. And I told you because I was just I just felt first of all, I know I'm a good friend, but even if I'm not a good friend, I appreciate friends who come to me and say, hey, I just don't think this stage in my life is gonna work having you around. Let's be civil, which when you tell your story, yours was very that. Yours was a healthy in the friendship breakup. Versus mine was just hey, I don't want to be your friend anymore. It was a random, it happened very random, and it just was very rude, and I was what did I do? What?
Yeah, I would be hurt.
Yeah, and so for me, I think it was also I was blindsided, and the same as you said, I think it was a friendship that just happened too fast. And so I was oh my gosh, this person's amazing. I love hanging out with them, this, we made plans. And then, bam, literally, I was told I don't want to be a friend. And I was first of all, we old. When I say we old, I mean we mature. So I would trust you to sit down. Do you think, this is my question for you, do you think in that situation, or just in any situation when somebody doesn't want to be your friend anymore, do you think we should how do you think would be a good way to end it? Do you just fade it out? Do you sit the person down? Do you call the person and be hey, I don't think I want to be your friend anymore? What would you do if you don't want to be my friend anymore?
I guess it depends on the reasons why I don't want to be your friend. okay, for my main reasons would be if I sense that you're not giving me the same energy that I'm investing into the friendship, I would pull away, and I probably wouldn't ask you to hang out as much as I would in the past.
Okay.
I wouldn't be checking up. If you reach out, like my response would be, nice, but you'll probably sense like the disconnect there. So I wouldn't say we can't be friends anymore. You just would notice that this girl doesn't have my time anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so another thing, I know we both not married with kids. Like, it's not a this at all.
Yeah.
But have you ever, I don't know with you, but with me, I've had friends, majority of my friends back home are married, some have kids, that whole thing. And so with that, I'm not saying it's a friendship breakup, it's a friendship change.
Yeah.
And for me, it's never been like a problem, because I believe in when your friends are going through, like, give them space for, I call it a love season. Like, give them space, and I always know that good friends come back to you, because I have a friend who, like, she's had that with her friend, and her friend just never came back, her friend never reached out and texted her, versus me, I'm lucky that I have friends who have gone through love seasons, but they've come back in the sense of, like, I'm not gonna always bother to message them. It's okay for them to always be busy with their boo, but I just want to know that, like, if Ish had to hit the fan, will you be there for me, Because there's times, especially when they just start dating, when they just got kids, it's like their whole world is consumed by this person or these babies. And then once they find their balance, I always feel like they come back. So with you, have you ever gone through that where your friends have gone into a relationship or have had a love season and you felt like you're the outcast, or you felt like...
Yeah.
How...
Yeah, okay, the one that I had a breakup with recent this year, that was one of the reasons that caused our, like, disagreements. She had met someone, it was through online dating actually, and I sensed that, okay, she was spending more time with this person, she wouldn't reach out as much as she would in the past, and blah, blah, blah. And then I pulled away because I'm like, okay, I don't want you to seem like I'm not happy for you, and I was, and I saw it coming, I even told her. So I pulled away, and I think she noticed that. So I don't think she took it as well.
But why do you call it pull away? Because
I wanted to give her space to enjoy what she's, building.
But were you still, like, at least texting her?
Yeah, it was just not as frequent as before. Because I also noticed when I would reach out, it wasn't as deep of a connection as it was before this person came to the picture.
Okay.
I mean, I understand giving people space, but I also think
it's both ways.
You should
like,
learn how to find a balance between. I mean, you had this person in your life, friends, before this new man came in. So, like, they're both essential somehow. So how do you? It's tricky.
I do think that when you get when your friends start dating, they instantly prioritize their relationship, which I actually want you to. But at the same time, I feel like with the friendships I'm thinking of, if I constantly felt like I was being a burden, then there'll be a problem. Because, like, with the friendships I have, even though I was intentionally not dating at the time, I still felt included. So it wasn't like, okay, I'm always with my boo. Like, listen, okay, hey, I'm doing this with my boo. Or, like, let's say Monday to Friday you're with your boo, and you're like, Monday to Thursday we together, and you're like, Friday we're going to watch a movie. Do you want to come? Even if I don't go, it's just the knowing that, hey, I was invited. And vice versa. It's like, because I feel like sometimes people get so consumed in the world. It's like the same thing. I took it into a relationship. It's my responsibility as it's your responsibility to make sure we still have a relationship. Because there's too many friendships I've seen or people where they get into relationships, or they have babies, or have stuff. Life happens, and it's good. Like, I want everyone to have babies and kids or whatever. I want you to have the desires of your heart. But at the end of the day, it's sad when you see somebody whose husband passed away, or like a breakup happens, a divorce happens, and they long for the friendships they had, but those friendships are no longer there because you want watering those friendships.
Yeah, that's the sad. Yeah, that's.
Because it's like, hey, I'm watering. I want to keep this friendship, but you're not watering it back. And I'm not saying that you have to text all the time. Like, there's a lot of friendships that I have that I haven't spoken to somebody for a month, 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah, I don't understand how you do that.
Who, me?
Yeah, you say that a lot, but I'm like, I
Oh
guess
my
I'm not
gosh.
that kind of a person.
But it's because I also live miles and miles away from home, and like we have a 6-hour difference. But
Oh,
I know for sure that I have friends who I haven't spoken to for months, but I know that if I text them, it's like instant, like we haven't, you know. And it's like also with them is that I see them in my text, like I mean I see them in my comments, I see them, they'll like an Instagram
so
picture.
They're still trying to like.
Yeah, they will like
present.
an Instagram picture, they will like a Facebook picture,
Yeah.
they will like, you know. So it's not even like with me. It's like I won't speak to someone and then I'll speak to them on FaceTime after 3 to 6 months, and it's like no time has passed. It's just that we're catching up on those months, you know. And so I feel like that is something where you also need to know your friendship.
Yeah, for sure.
Now,
yeah.
if my best friend ignores me for a full year, I would
What's
know.
that?
No, but the thing is, I would also know that there's something wrong
Going
there,
on,
you
yeah.
know. So it's like, hey, if she ignored me for 2-3 weeks, girl, homegirl got a baby. She got 2 kids under 2. And so I text her like, hey, how you doing? What's having a baby? And most of the time, life has been lifing for her. You know what I'm saying? And so me as a friend, I need to give her grace to be like, hey, life is lifing. And I also just know her heart that it's not her heart, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's it. But then there's some friendships that you just need to call it a quits.
Yeah, I have one of those right now, and I'm like, I don't know.
Is
like,
it me? Am I the problem?
No. It's just, again, this might sound bad.
Okay.
She started dating someone months ago. Even
Uh-huh.
before then, she wasn't the texting you, calling type of friend. But even after this person came into her life, I noticed it like very more intensely. Like, wow, okay, because now this person is with you. She's always, every time. Sometimes I'll say, okay, do you want to meet up this way? Oh, I'm doing this with this. I'm doing this with this. I'm just like, okay, like, hello. I'm glad she's happy, blah, blah, blah,
But do you think maybe she just needs... So you said she was bad with texting and calling before.
not like extremely bad, but now... Go ahead, Chris.
No, I'm just saying, like, do you think maybe she's in the love season? I always
6 months in?
Yeah, 6 months is still you. 6 months is not. Bukky, have you ever been in love? When you see stars, when they can talk about
I
souls.
think it was more like infatuation.
Okay, when they talk about souls and you can relate it back to him, you can talk.
Wow,
like,
that's deep.
Dude,
Wow,
like
I want to
literally,
experience that.
you need like that's what I'm saying. It's still. I feel like she's still in love season as you as a friend. This is what I would say. You as a friend need it, but I would say give it a year. Give it a year. I always say give it a year because is she toxic? Is she burning? Like for me, I always try to go through the traits. Like, are you always? Because I have a friend that always would like focus on the negative side of my life. Like never tell me what I'm doing right, but always tell me what I'm doing wrong. And I call you a candle burner. Like, are you that friend that just constantly dims my thing? Or like, I'm always questioning our friendship before the person came into the picture. You know what I'm saying?
See, I feel like I do that with some friends now.
You
It's not a
question?
good thing, but I think it's me putting up a wall to just kind of guard my heart,
Yeah.
you know, because I'm always thinking, okay, you're really my friend, like what really is this?
Uh-huh.
I'm not very good at adult friendships, I'll be honest.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
still
true.
learning.
That's another thing. Like adult friendships are different to kid friendships. But I always say, are you a good friend? Like, how do you know?
For sure.
No, but how do you know you're a good friend? Because you can't see yourself.
No,
Have you
because
asked-
I've been told.
No, but like who? Like, have you been told when it's a good season? Like now, the same friend you're struggling with. I feel like give her another 6 months first,
Okay.
and then after a year, be like, hey, I miss you. like let's hang out. And if she is still not like, be like, hey, do you still want, like, I feel like just ask, like, do you still want this friendship? I'm not trying to put pressure on you. I feel like maybe we enter different stages, because some people also genuinely believe that when you're dating and when you get married, you need to be friends with married people.
Yeah, well, that's another topic.
Yeah, that's another topic for another time.
I mean, I think I am, because one of my friends that she had a baby maybe 3 months ago now. She's even mentioned it. One time she was like, I appreciate you for, still keeping in touch and checking on me and all that. And I didn't even see it as that. I just felt like, okay, I mean, I understand you have stuff going on, and I just felt like I should stop.
Okay, okay, I hear you. I'm trying to think of like what else. So, has there ever been a time in your life where you had to end the friendship because, like, your mom or people around you were like, Bukky, this friendship's not serving you well? Or have you ever had like friends be like, like sus? Because I have some friends that are like that. They meet a new person and they're like, your friend is pretty, she's a great person, but there's something there. And 90% of the chances they've been right.
Wow.
Have you ever had like those kind of?
Not that I can think of, actually. Wait. I think there has. I just can't recall like the situation behind it, honestly. But I know one of the person that I still keep in touch with. We actually had a friendship breakup like years ago. Whereas I think I was sharing something with her and I didn't really like her response to the milestone that I had reached or whatever. And she asked me, I think it was via text, do you still want to be friends?
Oh wow.
Or like, do you want space? I don't know how it was worded. And I remember us not talking for like 2 or 3 years.
Oh.
And after that 2-year mark, I think it was Instagram that brought us back together, because we're still, when I had Instagram, we're still following each other. So, and then all of a sudden, I think I had texted her like, I miss you. What? I don't know what I was thinking. And then we ended up booking like a trip just out of the blue, and that's how we connected.
That's another thing. Do you think that you can be friends with somebody you were no longer friends with before?
I think it's possible if you are genuinely like,
if you've grown.
Yeah, and you learn from whatever happened. But sometimes it's not necessary.
Oh, it's not necessary?
Yeah.
So are all your friends in the same circle? Like, do you have groups of friends or do you have like individual friends? Because I know people always think, and I saw this on TikTok the other day, where this girl was saying there's this myth or this lie that when you grow up, because we've seen Friends and Girlfriends, all those shows, you think that you're gonna constantly have groups as friends. And I was like, that is so true. However, I have groups of friends here, but back home I have, like, Megan and Pam are 2 sets of friends, and I have Natalie and Nathan, the 2 sets of friends. So like I do have like spread out friends for different aspects of life. Do you find that, or do you have like one group, like a gang, a squad?
I actually don't like groups of friends.
Oh, why?
Because I feel like, I guess from my experience, it's never ended well. What I've noticed is that one person or 2 people would be closer than the other, and there'll be like black sheep or whatever that feels like,
but
it's never worked for me. Even if I meet like females in the group or in the clique, I rather get to know each person individually, and then from there develop, if I feel like there's a connection.
But do you think?
So it's never worked.
Okay. I'm not saying be friends in groups. I'm just saying, like, why do you think that? Because like, I understand what you're saying, and I've been in those situations. However, I've changed my mindset. We have entered groups, and I've been like, you know what? Even if I'm gonna be an ugly duckling in this group, I'm gonna be the best ugly duckling in this group. I'm gonna have
Is there
fun.
such a thing?
Yes. No, I'm saying like if you're gonna call me the ugly duckling of the group, not saying I'm physically ugly, but just saying like there's gonna be people who are gonna constantly hang out on their own without me.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. Because like when I got here, that's what happened. Like I came from South Africa, and the German girls in my area, we would hang out, German Brazilian girls, we would hang out, but in groups I always felt like they would invite me to certain things but not invite me to other certain things. And so I was like, yo, you want to be friends with all this? Fine, you do you, boo, but I'm gonna have fun. And so like I just started having fun on my own,
right?
And that's how I found groups. So my thing is, do you think maybe you put too much pressure on your happiness, on your friendships? Because
wait,
would you have felt the same? No, would you have felt the same way if you weren't that way? If you and somebody else were closer, but there were 4 other people? If tables were turned.
So you said, do I put my happiness on my friendships? No, because.
No, I'm saying you said you don't like groups, okay? And I was like, good, I get it. I'm not saying you have to have groups to have friends. I'm just saying, would you have been more open if the tables were turned? If you were, let's say we all in a group, and then me and you became close, instead of you being the one on the outside.
Like the outside coming in.
Yes, me and you became close, but then there's 4 other people. Would you have been like,
Well, maybe. I guess for me, it's always been me coming in into the groups of friends. And I always just notice that there's already a closeness, and it's actually challenging for me to, what's the word? To get into the groups or the cliques. And even in churches, if I try, it just doesn't work. So then I would just, Yeah.
So when that happens, do you pull back, or do you like find your own group, or you create your own group?
Well, not necessarily groups, maybe just 1 or 2 people that I connect with on an individual level. Yeah, but the groups, it's just never, I don't know. If I had a group of friends and someone came in and I became closer to that person or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah. It's hard for you to be friends with everyone in a group setting.
Right, yeah.
Because like I know with churches can be very cliquey. And I've been to a few churches and it's very cliquey. But I found, because like I've been on both sides. I've been in the clique and I've been outside the clique. Okay? And
I guess I've never been in a clique. That's the thing.
And I've always I don't like being in the clique.
Yeah,
but the thing is, this is the thing is like when I got to the clique side, I realized that it's not to say that you intentionally exclude people, number one. Number 2, it's hard to be friends with everyone. You just can't.
That's a lot.
And so my thing is also like, technically there's no outcast, because what's happening is that, let's say there's a group of 6 friends, okay? In the 6 friends, you bound to make a connection with just 2 people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, hey, we all still hang out together, we all still do stuff, but there's gonna be that one person that's gonna become like your closest friend, and that is okay. And so when I experienced that, I was like, hold up, there was never, I'm not saying people are not cliquey, I was just saying that I created this wall for myself, thinking that because I just didn't connect with anyone in the circle. Because what could have also happened is that you may have joined the circle, and let's say they're all into like action movies. Like for me, it's always been like they're into music, and I'm like, I like music, but I'm never like, oh my gosh, Drake's album's coming out. Like, I've never been. It's fine. No, it's not that. It's fine. I've never been that person that's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna wait in line for like Drake's this, Drake's that, whatever. And so I always had to find stuff like that I connect with people, like that one thing. And so like me and you, we connect because we like nature. Like we like aesthetics, that kind of stuff. Versus with like my other friends, me and Audrey, we like food. We like foodies, We like food, we like being loud. And it's like with every friend I have, it's different aspects. But I'm not gonna be as close to you as I am to IJ. You're not gonna be as close to me as you are with maybe Shalane. And that is absolutely okay. But I feel like the negative side comes in where people, and now don't get me wrong, there are people who intentionally exclude people. I'm not condoning that. I'm not for that nonsense. However, if you think about it, you go into these groups and you, like, the first time you experience it, it just could be that you haven't found something you connect with those people, number one. Number two, it just could be people who are just not friendly.
Yeah, I feel like that's been my
People are just not
experience,
friendly.
but it's mostly been in church settings because I've moved, I guess, a lot. School, coming back from school, college, and stuff. Finding new churches, even moving here, trying to figure out a church home, changing churches like every few months. So that doesn't help. But even in churches that I've stayed a year, like the church I currently attend, I can't tell you that I'm friends with a particular female, even in the young adult setting, because it's like there's really nothing going on.
Yeah.
Because most of them grew up together in the church.
Yeah.
So you know,
yeah.
and I'm like, what am I? And I've made mention of it
Have
in
you-
different meetings and settings and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people are friendly, some people are not. It's just.
Have you tried? Have you tried like reaching out?
Oh yeah, for sure. There's one that I think I mentioned. She was the one that said she's not good at texting and blah blah blah, but then she's done it so many times.
Okay. Anyway, so I was saying, like, this is my tip. When you enter friends, because I know you've had good and bad friends, and I always say, and this is something I had to learn. Well, when I say recently, the last 2 years, 3 years, is that I will always be a good friend. And I will always try and push my best foot forward.
Oh,
Even
yeah, for sure.
if the gangster in me wants to come out.
Girl, it tries
like,
me a few times.
Listen, the gangster in me always wants to
Yeah.
try me. But like, I'm always like, I moved from South Africa here by myself.
Yeah.
No family, nothing.
Yeah.
And so I can do this life by myself.
Yeah,
However,
Yeah.
I choose to have community. And it's like, I know like the incidents where when I join churches, it's natural, as you said, that people grew up together, people already have friends. I have found that like with every church I've joined besides the one I grew up in, people already have their own things. And it's the same thing where it's like I would hang out with people in group settings. And then from that, I would either make connections or I won't. And it's like, there are people that I've hung out with, even in my current, I've hung out with them, and then we've gone one-on-ones, and I'm like, it's just like we just don't have a connection, like we just, you know. And so I always say, don't not find friends or find community, because even in your church, you find there may be somebody who comes in that needs a Bukky. You know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes we put too much pressure on ourselves to have friends, and we're afraid to do stuff on our own. It's good to have friends. It's really good to have friends. I encourage having friends. But it should be a place of my cup is full. I want to help fill yours and you must fill mine. Not from a place of, because it's going to be hard walking in. And I would just say, how long have you been church? Like a year, whatever.
My church?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say give it time, because I feel like the church, dude, the church I go to now, only now I feel like I'm starting to have like deep-rooted friendships, because you know my story with at the church I've been to, where life happens and you hang out with people every time, and then life happens and you realize you actually don't have friends, you know. And so even with that, I say to you guys out there, give your friendships time. It's like a relationship, you know. When you start dating someone, you don't instantly, like on the first date, give them your social security or your ID number or your ATM pin. As time goes by, you know, you start learning people, or you start seeing people, and you start like figuring out, oh, that person seems cool, I could be that friend. There's some friendships who I'm friends with them, and you'll be like, how are we friends again? Because like we have nothing in common, but it makes sense. You know? It's like
What? You have to have something in common though.
no, like
Maybe you just like to laugh together.
it's like the weirdest thing. It's like I am, maybe we both think, I am like my friend, I have a friend Lilo. I'm trying to think, maybe people have big ones, so maybe that's it. But little is like freeze for it, jump off a bridge, risk it, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Versus me, I'm like timing every step. But she's like like one of my greatest friends, and I love her dearly. And it took time. Like at first you may be like overwhelmed, you're just like, she's a much, you know? And so it's the same thing with you. It's like these girls at church may seem like, or wherever you find friends, it just may seem like it's just hard and you're butting heads. But when you walk away knowing you've given it your all. And you've left it in God's hands. Because I do believe God wants us to have friends and community and that whole thing. But also, I think I'm just learning in this season is that not everyone who says they're my friend is rooting for me.
Yeah, or not everyone who says they're your friend are actually like your friend.
Yeah.
It's
like, and I saw this when my dad died, and I'm like seeing it again. Just learning to grow, and some friends are seasonal.
That's for sure. Yeah, that's what I'm learning. Like, don't hold on for dear.
It's like, I know this video probably seems like so negative, but it's actually so much fun having friends, and it's so much fun finding friends and finding what works with you. And I must say, as somebody who, I'm not saying I'm qualified, I still have friendship drama, whatever. But like once you find like deep rooted friendships, it's then the thing of boundaries, because like by far with Pam, it's been the easiest friendship. Like me and Pam's friendship is the easiest. It just worked. You know, like I never had to explain boundaries to her. She never explained boundaries to me. And so I hope that for you that you find people like that. Because now I have good friends. Apart from Pam, Pam's amazing. But outside of Pam, I have good friends. I have friends who have my back, that whole thing. But it didn't just happen.
Yeah,
we went through bumps too. It didn't just happen.
Sure. I think my thing is learning not to put so much pressure on friendships. Yeah. Not like you shouldn't put work into it. I do, like, but don't be so overwhelmed or like feel entitled like this person must check up on me every so often or whatever. Yes, they should, but if they don't.
Are you an overthinker? I feel like you overthink. You are an overthinker.
Yeah, because I like to put my best in things I do, especially relationships. So I guess that's me also learning myself and giving myself boundaries and grace. Like, okay, if I go a few weeks without checking up on this person, it doesn't mean I'm a bad friend. Maybe I just have other things going on. And if this person hasn't checked up on me, maybe she has stuff going on. So I think that way, maybe developing more like genuine friendships would be easier than me like going.
So do you have like expectations of like what friends should do for you?
Internally, yeah.
Okay, so that's
not like
the
do
problem.
From me, not like do from me as in like
not
gifts, but like time and energy.
Okay,
yeah.
So for you, the standard of what's your standard of a good friendship? Like what?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Okay, you don't have to.
No, because something happened this year. One of my friends forgot my birthday.
Oh, so
and we've been friends for a few years. We met in college. And then I was actually surprised because she's never forgotten my birthday. So the day after, she, reached out, and then, she was very apologetic, which now I'm like, okay, I really see, like, how genuine she was. But it kind of, I was hurt a little.
No,
it's not petty.
That's real. No,
but it was because I take my birthday seriously.
Oh.
But
that's the thing though. It's good to know because there's some people who don't, and I'm that some person. Like for my birthday, it's a joke. Like I'm not trying to be mean. Like I the only reason I get excited about planning my birthday is the actual planning of it. Like I love event planning, and so it's I get to plan something. But the actual day in itself stresses the heck me out. Like it stresses me out. It stresses me out in the sense of I have to host people, I have to come up with games, but like the planning process, like giving themes, giving dates, doing
I
invites.
Enjoy that too.
Yeah,
But now, next year, not that I won't expect anything, but my expectations of who's gonna reach out to me when, except my siblings and parents.
But I don't even. But that's the thing though. Like I feel like it's also. Have you said, but I'm trying to think because I'm like
have I stated that my birthday's
because I'm like the opposite. It's like we the opposites.
But
Okay,
I
it's
don't, like, why would I tell someone? I don't know. Like, how would you tell someone, oh, my birthday?
No. I'm not saying
you know?
do that. I'm just saying like, because even me as your friend now, I'm like, oh, like it matters to you because I know it be life be lifing, and sometimes I could wish you 10 o'clock at night or the next morning.
As you did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
And I was just like, did this girl just only text me on my birthday?
and it's like, I know it's your birthday. 2 days before, I'm like, don't forget it's Bukky's birthday. Don't forget it's Bukky's birthday. And then on Bukky's day, I'm running around with this kid or something's going crazy.
Yeah.
And then at night, I'm like, sitting in bed and I'm like, stink! I forgot to wish Bukky. Like the one here, I genuinely forgot to wish my mom. And I felt like trash. I wished her the next day. I felt, and I knew the whole week. I knew the whole week I got her a gift and everything because my mom and them gifts always get to them early or day late, whatever. I got her gift everything, but the actual happy birthday, I felt like trash. And when she did it back to me, I was like, she didn't do it on purpose. She was like sick on the day, like she had a headache, whatever, and she slipped and she just got up like after. And I was like, I was so pissed. I was so mad at her, but I was like, oh, this is how it feels, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like this year for your friend, it could be life is like for her this year.
Yeah, it was. She was pregnant at the time.
Yeah, so like it could be that.
I understand if you want
So,
to.
but like, I'm trying to think because I'm just like.
But then, like you said one time, you've learned not to put the responsibility of being happy on your birthday on others. As I am next year, I'm not going to do that. Like I still like to enjoy and celebrate myself. Like this year, I went staycation.
Oh yeah, you went to staycation.
So I would do something for myself, but at the same time, learning to give grace.
Yeah.
God knows for you.
I think.
And just not put people on a high pedestal.
Yeah. Okay, to end this whole video off, I think to say the least and what's helped me because I, in the day, struggled with what you're saying. I think when I released the expectation from humans, it released the stress from me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like even just me and her friendship, I am a terrible texter. I'm trying for her. Don't tell my other friends. But like when we spoke and like I realized that she's like the planner. Like she'd be like, we should hang out, we should go for lunch, and I'm like, yeah, cool. And then 5 seconds later she gives me options of like dates, times,
so I know what to do.
And I'm like, girl,
I put things on my phone and my
what I'm
planner.
gonna eat right now, you know? And so with that, I've been like, okay, this is who she is, and this is what I love about her, and so I'm gonna try. And I've even said to you, like, hey, if I'm not responding now, it's not because, you know, whatever, but if I'm just busy. And so, like, she knows now that this is who Angel is, and this is what Angel comes with. And you also know that it's nothing against you.
Right.
And that's the thing, like sometimes I feel like when people don't respond or ignore our calls, we like, oh, they don't remember my friend, you know? And so that's another thing that causes unnecessary friendship breakups because you start creating these ideas.
That is so true,
you start creating these ideas that, oh, she doesn't remember my friendship, and it's
so
like,
sad.
homegirl's phone is upstairs in the room.
Yeah.
Like my phone is, like, you can see, I'm downstairs here. My phone can be upstairs in the room, and you're like, Angel doesn't want to talk to me. She just posted something like 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. You know, so it's
the
like
bad side of social media.
Yeah, and so it's stuff like that. And so having said all this about friendship breakups and having friends is good, but it also requires work, and it also requires a lot of grace, and it also requires you. I always say you need to know who you are before you just jump in and think that those friends are gonna solve your problems.
Yeah,
because that's why. That's why I asked you: Are you putting your happiness on them? Because I've always been like, no matter how horrible this place is, whether we're going to a party or event, whatever. Even if I was meant to go with a friend and they like just bail on me, whatever.
I mentioned that on my blog recently.
Yeah. Oh, she has a blog, y'all. And if like their friend bailed on me, and especially like recently, I have a friend who was like so excited to do this with you, whatever. And I was already not questioning a friendship. I was just like, it was a new friendship, and I was like, how is this friendship gonna last? You know, like, you know, in terms of long term, because I I just saw things that they had done to other people, and I'm not saying I took offense for other people. I just was like, I saw what you did to those friends of yours, and I don't like that. I want friends who are gonna have friends back, or like, don't bring that energy over here in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I still was their friend, and I still encouraged the friendship. And then they started doing that to me, and they would like bail without making. So like, if you're gonna bail, like, hey, I can't do brunch today.
What about?
Let's go
Yeah.
that time. I'm like, okay, cool, life happens. But if you're just gonna constantly bail, and I'm constantly gonna be asking you, hey, let's hang out, let's hang out. 2 strikes. I'm gonna be like,
You
call
know, that
me.
could be like
call me.
social anxiety.
I get it.
Person.
No, but I'm talking about
Yeah.
me and you. I'm talking about
Oh,
in person
okay.
we talk. I'm talking about in person we talk. I see you in person constantly. I see you everywhere in person. It's just like, you were the one that came up with this idea. You were like, we should hang out, and I'm like, okay. Like, I do get social anxiety. I'm like,
Me too.
okay, sure. What are we talking about? You know? And then I'm like, okay, cool, let's do it. And then I gained this courage to do it, and then you bail, and you bail like an hour before we have to go.
Oh, yeah, I would not be
Yeah.
and all that.
I feel like when you say no new friends, it's just cause like you've been through drama. Like me and my friend Nale always joke. We always joke, and we like no new friends. Like, cause the toxic person and the person always burns out. After her, I called my friend and I was like, no new friends.
Yeah, because it's just a lot of work also.
For me, I've never said no new friends when it's been good friends.
But then when you've had enough of them.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I find every time I say no new friends, it's because I've come out of a toxic friendship. Or I've had friends that have just like, I've had friends that have robbed me physically with my money, use my gas. And it's just like all in the name of we're in the same program vibe. And so when I said no new friends after that, or I'd be like no new friends in the Aupair system, deuces, because you know, it's mainly now I have after them have had new Aupair friends, but it's mainly because of that hurt. I'm speaking from a place of hurt.
Yeah, I totally
Yeah. And so I strongly feel that nobody is gonna be like, oh yeah, sweet Betty wants to be my friend. She's really great. I'm not gonna be her friend. I feel like it's more like Cassandra is mean as heck and she's pissing me off. And like I don't want another Cassandra.
That's true, yeah, because every season you probably need someone different.
Yeah.
Seasons change.
What is your go-to song right now?
Do I have one?
Like, what song did you listen to this morning? Do you play music when you get up?
Yeah, I do, but I don't have a specific.
So what was like the first song?
I didn't play any song this morning, actually.
Okay, so what's your go-to then? You don't have a go-to song?
I don't have a go-to song. Funny enough, I was speaking with someone and she was like, it's good to have like a theme song. You know, I mean, I have a theme verse right now, but...
You have a theme? What's your theme verse?
Get it right.
What?
Proverbs 3:5-6.
Uh-huh.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart.
Lean not on your understanding. I love that scripture.
Because when I'm like overthinking, I have to keep repeating it to myself and it helps me feel better.
Oh, really? Do you journal?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Things I wouldn't say to people.
Yeah. Anyway, y'all. The sun is setting again! Thank you so much for watching this video. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I know these videos are a little bit longer. It's a great discussion. It was not meant to be a little bit longer, but it is. Thank you so much for coming to my channel.
Good, intense.
It was intense. Where can the people find you if they want to stalk you?
I have a blog.
Address.
Just a blog.
Have a blog?
And Pinterest.
What's your blog name?
BukkyandI.com.
Well,
put it in the
you. Anyway, see you guys in the next video. Bye. That was good.
Oh gosh.
You were so good. Why are you out here panicking?
Cause I'm like, I hope people don't think she's weird.
Why do you care about what people think?
Okay,
You need to stop it. Why do you care what people think? People can go fly a kite and fly it.